Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. This is the third and final video of tonight, a trifecta of videos. So I hope you guys are enjoying all the videos I've been uploading tonight. So this video is going to be the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles 2021 predicted team. Now, obviously, I've gone through the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles squad, the roster I have at the moment. I've put together my best 1 to 17 for them going into this year. I think what their strongest team could look like. So obviously, like I did with the other ones, I'll go through the 1 to 17 and I'll also go through the reserve players as well. So without further ado, let's get into the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles 2021 predicted team. Fullback, Tom Trbojevic. On the wings, Jason Saab and Ruben Garrick. In the centres, Dylan Walker and Moses Suli. In the halves, 5'8", Kieran Foran, halfback and captain, Daly Cherry Evans. The front row of Josh Alloway and Martin Tapau. The hooker is Cade Cust. The second row is Jack Jajeski, Curtis Sheridan, and at lock is Jake Trbojevic. And on the interchange bench, I have gone with Josh Schuster, Tanella Paseka, Sean Kepi, and Andrew Davey. And obviously the coach is Des Hasler, and the 4 reserve players that I think will be probably in the squad most weeks when the team list are announced on Tuesdays. I have gone with Tafoa Sipley, Tavita Funa, George Tafua, and this other young forward named Christian Tupolota. I apologise if I got the last name wrong there, but Christian Tupolota, I think his name is. He's a very good young forward coming through. Keep an eye on him. I think he's got a lot of potential and he could see some game time this year. But obviously the Manly-Warringah Sea Eagles have got some really good pieces in their side this year. I think the backline looks quite strong. Their halves, obviously Foran and Cherry Evans, back together. They've won a grand final together before, back in 2011. They played in the grand final together in 2013. They know each other inside now, so I'm glad those two are back together. The forward pack's quite strong. Trbojevic and Martin Tapau will probably lead the way there, and then you've got a couple of really good young players there, and the likes of Jack Jajeski, who might actually get a lot of game time at back row now, and Josh Alloway, who left the West Tigers to go over Manly. He could be quite good. And then you've got someone like Curtis Sheridan in the back row. Plenty of experience, a little bit of leadership as well, and he knows the job. And then the bench may be young, but they've got a lot of good pieces on the bench. But obviously, we'll go through the team. And look, obviously, the fullback, Tommy Turbo. As long as he stays injury-free, he'll be the best fullback for the Manly Sea Eagles, without a doubt, without question. Arguably a top 3, top 5 fullback, arguably a top 2 fullback when he's fully fit and not injured. I'm looking forward to seeing how Tom Trbojevic goes this year. Hopefully he can stay injury-free, but obviously he's the fullback for Manly. There's no one else that even compares to Tommy Turbo. The wingers, Jason Saab and Ruben Garrick. Now, Jason Saab left the Dragons to go to Manly. I know Des Hasler and the Sea Eagles were keen on Saab for a while now. They got their man. Saab will be apparently getting the first crack on the wing, so I feel like Jason Saab's got a little bit of pressure on him, because if he doesn't perform, there's a lot of other outside backs that are in the waiting to put pressure on him, the likes of George Tafua, Tavita Funa, even someone like Brad Parker could even be a contender for that. But Jason Saab's getting first crack, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this young winger goes. So obviously I've got him on the wing, along with Ruben Garrick. Now, Ruben Garrick's one that a lot of people will probably shake their head over and go, no, I'd rather Tafua or Tavita Funa. Ruben Garrick's the Manly Sea Eagles goal kicker. Unless Ruben Garrick has 3 or 4 shocking games to start the season, that's the only way he'll be getting dropped out of the side. I know Ruben Garrick's a really good player. You know, his first season in 2019 was great, and then he had he had a bit of second-year syndrome last year. So I think Garrick will respond and will definitely play a lot better this year. So I got him on the wing with Saab. In the centres, Dylan Walker and Moses Suli. There's a lot of talk about Dylan Walker. Might be banned to play or something about what happened. He got into an incident, but at this stage, Dylan Walker's all clear and ready to play. So obviously he'll be in the centres. A former New South Wales State of Origin player, and he knows what it takes to get the job done. So Dylan Walker, without a doubt, makes the centres. Along with the other centre, Moses Suli. I've got a pretty big rap on Moses Suli. I think he's a really good centre. He's a big, explosive centre. Every time you get the ball, the defensive line looks a little bit nervous when he gets the ball. the combination between him and Cherry Evans. I like that combination. So I'm a big fan of Moses Suli. I hope he can stay injury-free all season because I'll tell you right now, Moses Suli is a very good player. So I got him in the centres with Dylan Walker, halves, Kieran Foran and Daly Cherry Evans. There's a lot of talk about Josh Schuster playing 5'8", but honestly, Kieran Foran for mine definitely gets first crack. There's a little bit of hype about Foran playing hooker. Can't see it happening. Foran's too good. He's better than Josh Schuster. Schuster's a bit of an unknown player still. I know he had a great debut last year, but you can't judge him off one game. Foran definitely is going to be playing 5'8". Otherwise, Manly have gone mad. But Foran will be playing 5'8" for sure. And obviously, you got the halfback, DCE, one of the best halfbacks in the game, without question. Great combination. And those two together is a no-brainer. The front row, I've got Tapau and Josh Alloway. Martin Tapau, great leader, plenty of experience, a very good player on his day. Probably needs to do a little bit more now that Fanil Blake's no longer at the club. So Martin Tapau, I think he'll have a big season and I think he'll do well. Along with the front row they picked up from the West Tigers, Josh Alloway. I think he's a really good, young, exciting front rower coming through. I think he'll do very well at Manly, considering he's playing with some really good players who've got plenty of experience. At the West Tigers, there wasn't much experience around. They just had a lot of youth. But I think Josh Alloway and Martin Tapau will complement each other well in the front row. So I've got those two up front. Hooker, Cade Cust, probably the only logical choice at the moment. Manly don't have a recognised hooker. The whole Manasi Faunu thing's still going on. So I think Cade Cust is hooker for mine. I think it's a no-brainer. There isn't many other good options out there for the Seagulls. Unless they sign someone like Nathan Peets or Jake Granville, who Jake Granville could be on the market, or Nathan Peets is actually a free agent still. So Cade Cust at the moment, I think he's probably the best hooker Manly have at the club, in my opinion. The back row, Jack Jajeski and Curtis Sheridan. Now, Jack Jajeski, I think he deserves to get first crack. A lot of hype around Andrew Davey playing back row. I think Jajeski deserves first crack, in my opinion. So I hope to see him playing on the left side with Foran in round one. And then on the other side, obviously, Curtis Sheridan, experience, a great combination with DCE, and I think Sheridan definitely makes the starting side without question. And at lock, obviously, Jake Trbojevic, it's a no-brainer. One of the best locks in the game. In my opinion, the best tackler in the game. He's the best tackler in the game. He just, the way he tackles players, it's just beautiful to watch. So Trbojevic is a lock. And on the bench, I've got Josh Schuster, the youngster. There's a lot of hype around Josh Schuster. I think he's a good young kid. I think he'll come on, maybe play a little bit of dummy half with Cade Cust, maybe switch that up a little bit. But I think Josh Schuster's a good player to watch out for. I think he'll make the bench. Along with the two other front rowers, Tanella Paseka and Sean Kepi. These two were written off last year. No one thought these two would be any good. And they've been quite good for Manly, in my opinion. So Paseka and Sean Kepi, I just want to wish those two the best of luck. I really like those two young front rowers. I think they'll really do well this year, those two. So I look forward to seeing them come off the bench. And the other player I got, Andrew Davey. He left Parramatta and he's gone to Manly. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how Andrew Davey goes for Manly. I think he should come off the bench and start off. I think Jack Jajeski, has been waiting for a while to get that starting back row spot. And I think Andrew Davey needs to just be a little bit patient. If Jajeski plays bad, maybe you can swap him over. One start 1 week, one bench the other week. I think those two will do well. I think Andrew Davey will play well off the bench for Manly. And the reserves, obviously I've got Tofoa Sipley. Could make the bench, wouldn't be surprised, but he's a young player that I really do like. So I've got him in the reserves at the moment. I think he'll be 18th man most weeks. And the two outside backs, Tavita Funa and George Tafua. Tavita Funa for mine could easily make the 17 for Manly, but at this stage I got him in the reserves. I'm a big fan of Tavita Funa. I think he'll do well the more games he plays, along with George Tafua. Now he's been at Manly for quite some time now. I think his time in the starting side could be up, but I've got him in the reserves. I think those young outside backs like Saab and Gary probably deserve to get first crack. So I've got Tafua in the reserves. And the last player I got is Christian Tupeloto. I think he's a young player that could be in the 21-man squad week in, week out, and I think he will definitely make his debut this year. I don't even know if he has made his debut yet, but he's a player to watch out for, and I think he could definitely get a crack this year in first grade. But anyway, guys, that's my Manly-Warringah Seagulls 2021 predicted team. Let me know in the comment section below what your Manly 1-17 is for this year. I look forward to reading it in the comment section below. But anyway, guys, I'm getting out of here. This is the third video done for tonight. If you enjoyed it, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for another video. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.